Hey guys, SpaghettiNoob here. Just want to talk about some steak today. I sold. Interesting little road sign there. Alright, so steak. Been wanting to talk about this for kind of a while. Figured this was the gooder time? No. Better time than any? I don't know if that works either. Hey, they're finally fixing this road. Yay! So this road was a war zone after this winter. I don't even know why I'm taking it right now. So steak is hit and miss for me. Just right at the flat out in the beginning, here's what I think about steak. The best steak needs to be ground up and formed into a patty and made into a burger. That's the best steak. That's how I like my steak, into a burger. That's my prime choice of meat. That's my prime cut hamburger. So you see why I can probably have a problem with steak. Now, I have had steak at restaurants before, and almost every single time, it's just been a miss. So I'm not sure if it's just because a good steak is just really expensive, or you go to a steakhouse and everything, the steak, whatever choice you get, is usually expensive, and I don't do that, just trying to conserve resources. But there are times where, I just sucked it up and ordered, a good steak, or at least what I thought was a good steak at maybe a decent restaurant, like, an upper class restaurant. And those are usually the better end, but still not what I prefer. Especially like at one of the, I wouldn't say lower grade, maybe lower grade, I don't know, lower class, whatever you want to call it, just the, like your chained steakhouse, whatever it is, that wherever you're at in the world. But no, this probably isn't good, all these bumps. But like your chained restaurant, whatever steak you get there, I mean, that's probably, I already know, like, that's not good, but sometimes you never know, like, you find one, like a chain that actually has a good steak, or maybe it's not, like, not everyone likes it, but you really enjoy that steak at whatever that local restaurant is, and that's perfectly fine. But I haven't found that yet, and every single time that I order a steak, I've regretted it, except maybe today, right now. Before that, though, it's pretty much always 100% regret. Even if I didn't pay for it, like even if someone else had, bought me lunch or dinner, it's just I just wanted a burger. I wanted my steak thrown in a meat grinder, ground up into a million pieces, and then mushed together so I can shove it in my mouth and eat it. Because I've done that with burgers. I'll maybe have to do another video. Oh, these potholes. Another video about burgers. I'm going to be really careful because these potholes are just ridiculous. Oh, I got some in my eye. And part of the problem was when I was a kid, I used to follow what my older brother used to get. Like, he used to take us out when we used to go as little kids, or even just kind of growing up, as an older brother or sibling should do. And he would eat everything like well done, and that is the wrong way to eat food. He would like it like charred and crispy, and you don't eat meat that way. And I learned that after, I don't know, pretty much my entire life, I was eating food that way. Until one day, another relative was like, hey, I don't know what you're doing, but you need to eat this. I was like, oh no, it grosses me out. But it really never grossed me out. Like, who cares if it's pink? Or who cares if there's blood coming out? That never really grossed me out. And maybe did a little bit, but I mean, they're like, just try it. I forgot what it was. I don't even think it was beef. I think it was maybe like pork or something, like on the barbecue. Well, maybe it was steak, like steak bites or like cut up steak and like on a shish kebab type thing. But remember, I tried it and I was like, this is like the best thing ever. How come I haven't had this before? And like, oh, it's just regular meat. It's just not cooked, crispy and burned. It's not well done, you know. It's medium, or even like medium rare, you know. And then ever since that day, I was like a changed man on how I liked my meat, hamburgers included. So that was the first mistake. So then I started, you know, trying other steaks here and there at different places, and I started getting them like medium, sometimes medium well, I don't know. And as they were still all right, it was just a steak, and it's just a steak, and I still regretted it. I just wanted a burger. Always just want a burger. So today, I actually had a steak. It was a ribeye. Also, I don't really know much about the cuts of meat. I should, on how much I enjoy beef. I should know the different cuts of meat. You know, like the brisket, the shoulder, the tenderloin, I don't know, the ribeye. I really don't know much about that. But today I got a ribeye. And it was at it wasn't a fancy restaurant, maybe a fancier type restaurant. It was still a chain. The price was relative, you know. Gonna go? Go after me. I mean, it was definitely way more expensive than like your regular steakhouse chain. By probably double, you know, for a single individual. So I will say the quality of meat, I think, was a lot better. And I was told that ribeye had more fat versus filet. And I picked the ribeye mainly because I was hungry and the portion was a lot bigger. It said like, I think it was like 20 ounce, right? Most of the fillets were 8 ounce. And I had a filet before, and they're a lot, it's like, you know, just a little small little piece. That's all you get, eat me. So I didn't want that because I was really hungry today for whatever reason. Whereas the ribeye was a 20 ounce, and it came with potatoes, asparagus, some kind of weird cheese that I never had before, but was pretty good. It was kind of weird, but I kind of like it. It was like maybe dulce cheese or gorgonzola dulce. Maybe I think it was like both of those words. I also had asparagus. Asparagus is weird. It was good. So because I wanted more food, I picked the bigger one. Also, the fillets, most of them came with like other like meats, and all the other meats were like fish. And fish are friends, not food. So it came with scallops and scampies, whatever those are. I have no idea what those are, but I know they're friends. So I guess because the fillet isn't enough food, they have to give you something else. But I guess it's a better cut, maybe. So it's I mean, the price for the meal was the same, but you got way less food. Like some of the people sitting next to me, they didn't get a fillet, but they got other foods that was, you know, didn't have that. I had the biggest portion from like anyone. out of a, you know, a decent sized group of people. And I ate all my potatoes. I ate my entire steak. It was a bone in. I didn't clean the bone, but I got like almost all the big pieces. I didn't really want to pick it up and hold it. I ate all my asparagus except the ends, because the ends were wood, and then one of my friends told me, "Ha, I called you my friend. You gotta live with that now." Haha. I asked him how to eat it, and he was like, "You gotta eat it from here," and it was the wrong end. It was like the woody end. And that was weird, but it was good. I think it was like roasted. And everyone was kind of surprised that I ate that much. Mainly because I don't know, there aren't a lot of third-person videos yet, but maybe if you check out my YouTube channel, you see when I game. Pretty slender. But regardless, I got a steak. The steak was good. I don't know if I would order the steak again. What is this guy doing? I don't know if I would order the steak again. Maybe try the filet even though it's smaller. Oh, that would suck to fall down that way. Hey there, person. I'm behind you or in front of you. That one was coming up real close. And there's sun. Which means I can't see anything. Let's do visor. That helps a little bit. Gosh, it is really hard to see. I'm not complaining though, because I don't want to die. And I like the sun. Oh, we got 12 seconds. 7, 6. Half 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Go, guys. This guy's sticking way too far out. So I got the steak, and it was pretty good. It did have like the fat. I mean, it tasted really good. I think I still prefer a burger. It was probably the best steak that I've ever had at a restaurant. I have experimented at home barbecuing, and I think I have made better steak, you know, barbecuing myself. Now I don't know what cut we got, but me and my brother would occasionally, or at least we used to, we haven't done it in a long time, we'd experiment with steaks. We would get steaks and we would grill them up, and we'd look at stuff online and just a whole bunch of different things. And there were times where we made it and it was just like, wow, this is amazing. Like, it was just really good. And you know what I was thinking every time I was biting into that amazing steak that we barbecued? Why didn't we grind this up and make it a burger? You know, that's what I was thinking each time. So maybe steaks aren't just for me. And it's been hit and miss, especially at restaurants. Barbecuing had better success, even in the same batch. Like, I guess it's all on how long you keep it on the grill, right? How long you do each side, whether you marinate it, how you like it cooked. definitely medium now. And sometimes medium well, but definitely not well done. Like, it needs to still be bleeding, I think. At least that's what I've evolved to. Maybe devolved since caveman. But I don't know. In any case, I just want to tell you about my my steak experience and what I think about steak. I'll put in some pictures, although even though I'm saying this at the end, the pictures will probably be somewhere in the middle when I say, hey, I got this steak, and then you'll see the steak. But in any case, I prefer burgers over steak, and I had a steak and it was good. I don't regret this steak like I regret most of them. I would have rather had a burger, but you couldn't get a burger at the place I was at. You couldn't even get a pizza at the place that I was at. So that was kind of sad. Oh, and it also had some mushrooms. So when I was first taking a bite out of my food, I cut it up, and there was like the cheese on the top. And I was like, man, this is a really thick steak. I mean, regardless, it was still a thick steak. But it had these mushrooms, and I thought it was like the fat of the steak. You know, you have like the gooey fat part, and I thought it was that. So I picked it up, and I was like, sometimes that fat is like super amazing. Other times it's just like, ugh, gross. Why are we all stopped? I don't know if I can go over there. I don't know if it's safe. Maybe after this car I'll go to the other side. So I take a bite out of it and I was like, man, this steak tastes funny. And because I had already eaten a piece of steak and I was like, wow, this is actually, you know, pretty decent. So I took a bite of the mushroom, not knowing it was a mushroom. And it looked like the steak, it smelled like the steak, it even tasted like the steak, and like it tasted like meat. And I was eating it, and I was like, this is good. And like, I'm chewing it, and I'm like, I couldn't think of what this was. Like, why is this part of the? I thought it was liver at first. Like, I had liver. I haven't had liver in a long time. This is what the texture tasted like to me when the last time I had liver. And it even kind of looked like a liver. Like, it was pale. Like, it looked like meat, but, you know, it was like pale. And like, it wasn't really red or bleedy, and it was like fine. Like, it wasn't like, it didn't have the grindy. It was smooth. You know how like liver and mushrooms are? So I thought it was liver. I was like, did I just get liver with my steak? And I don't know. That's what I thought I got. They're gonna let me through. That guy is turning. But it turned out to be a mushroom. And it finally hit me, like, after a while. I was like, no, this can't be liver. I don't think I got liver. And then, like, after I kept eating it, it had like a faint crunch, and that's when I was like, holy crap, this is mushroom. And I was like, now I remember on the menu it said mushroom. I forgot to say hold the mushroom, but then I remembered. I was like, hey, I'm gonna try these mushrooms because, you know, this is supposed to be a nice restaurant. Maybe they have, you know, better mushrooms. And boy, was I right. And then I found out later they were, I think, portobello mushrooms. I don't really know much about mushrooms, but these mushrooms are really good mushrooms. And like, I was thinking of myself, and I was telling people I was with, I was like, it kind of, you know, it smelled like meat, it tasted like meat. The texture wasn't completely there, but I mean, if I would have known better, like, I thought this was just, you know, some kind of meat. And they're like, oh yeah, mushroom is a meat substitute for the most part. And I guess I didn't know that. I don't really like mushrooms. I hate mushrooms on pizza. That canned crap is disgusting. Like that gooey, like jello, slimy crab. I shouldn't be calling food crab, but... And I don't really like other mushrooms. Sometimes, when I was little, my mom used to take mushrooms. She used to slice them, and she used to put them in like an egg batter, and she used to fry them. And I remember eating those, and those were like good, but like had that mushroomy flavor. These didn't have the mushroomy flavor, and it was quite good. And the cheese that was on it, the gorgonzola dulce, I don't know if I'm even saying that right. That was really interesting cheese. It was like, had like a funny texture, but it was creamy at the same time. I don't know. But it was good. The whole meal was good. The potatoes were really good. They were like